Hi, I'm Willie, and I don't think anybody's here yet, but we'll wait for a few more people to come in. Looks like we got a thumbs up. That's awesome. I don't know if anybody's here. Hey, Carson is here. Looks like we're 4 people. I know this is a kind of an unannounced deal. Hey, Carson, can you hear me okay? Hey, Brian, if you guys can hear me, let me know. Sounds fine. That's good. 11 people in, 3 thumbs up. 12 people in. Mark, awesome. Yeah, so tonight I'm doing something a little different. Hey, Hugo, I'm doing something a little different. You probably noticed, for those of you who are here, the background is a little different than what you're used to. And that's because I have a new office. So, hey, Lonnie. So we still got people piling in here, and I'm actually streaming from my laptop, which just has a 720 webcam in it, but I do have the Yeti mic hooked up, so the audio is probably way better than the video at this point. So, hello to everyone who is filing in. I know I usually don't stream this late at night. Now, here's another question: how is the quality of the stream? Are you getting, is the motion fluid, things like that? Because I gave up gigabit symmetrical internet, and now I'm on a super duper 36 megabit per second connection. So, yeah, I think the quality is low because it's the built-in webcam. So I'm going to show you guys, everybody who's filtering in, guys, gals, whoever is here, I'm going to show you a new beta product that only like 40 people have right now in the entire hey, Keaton. So there's like 40 to 50 people. I'm not sure the number. I know it's a very small amount of people actually have this new product from Grandstream. I am allowed to talk about Grandstream beta products as long as I tell you that they are beta. I will tell you, I did get denied, even though I'm in the beta club over there at Grandstream. I did get denied the new wireless access point, which I thought was a little weird that they would deny me a new wireless access point, but they did send me. They are getting into the of course, they've been in the phone game, right? So Grandstream's been in the phone game. Now Grandstream is getting into the IP speaker game. Let me grab this IP speaker. Okay. So check this out. This is beta, so I'm allowed to talk about it as long as I tell you that it's beta. This is the brand new beta Grandstream IP speaker. Look how little this sucker is. I mean, we do have a data sheet on it. I think it's an 8-watt speaker. So I'm going to do videos on this because I can do videos on the beta Grandstream stuff. I know the lighting is crap in here too. So they've got, looks like we've got DC power we can power this with. We've got Ethernet and PoE, and then there's a reset button. But this thing is kind of tiny. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the cover on it is kind of, it's kind of like a fabric. So this will probably be the next video that I do. I have a lot of setting up to do. I don't have a desk in here yet. My main PC where I edit videos and everything is unhooked. I got camera stuff all over the place, and then you can't see it. But besides 1, 2, 3 shelves in here, I've got 2 more shelves, and then I have a closet full of stuff. I've got to get organized. So But yeah, so this is the new Grandstream speaker. And if you want to know how small this thing is compared, the um, the Axis speaker that I have is yeah, and Hugo, the world really is, there's all kinds of things going SIP, just besides, not just phones. Everything is really going SIP. But let me grab the Axis speaker real quick that we're going to do videos on. All right. So I'm a huge Axis fan. And this is the box. This is just the box for the Axis speaker. So you can see, hold on a second. I got to grab a pocket knife. Okay. All right. Handy dandy pocket knife here. Get this box open. We'll just kind of do some comparison. Now, I will tell you when it comes to Axis, that Axis is doing things for life safety that no other company is really doing. And it's fantastic. So here's the Axis cabinet speaker. I got all of the mounting accessories there in the box. But here is just the Axis speaker, right? So this is like the this is like a bookshelf type speaker. And then if you look at the Grandstream beta speaker, look at the size difference on those things. Now, this Axis speaker is going to give you excellent quality. And it's going to get mounted in here. And the Grandstream is going to get mounted. And we'll do some, some comparisons and things like that. But yeah, the Axis cabinet speaker, these things are super nice. And they also have horns. And the horns are crazy loud. But yeah. So I get to talk about this because I tell you that it's beta. So, but it is SIP and it'll have the familiar Grandstream interface. And word on the street is that you will be able to do an auto provision of this to the Grandstream UCM. I don't know if that's going to come true or not. But here, so this is interesting. So they've got like 3 or 4 different mounting options for this. But do you see this right here? This black ring this is actually like rubber. And so if I take this and I sit on something, like it's grippy, right? So it doesn't want to move around. So that's one mounting option. Then there's a Kensington lock over here. I literally just took this out of the box this morning. And I haven't had a chance to plug it in and play with it yet. But then you can see some of the other mounting options that we've got over there. Of course, the Axis cabinet speaker has the bracket that you use to mount it. And then all of the business end for the network is inside this. So, all right. So that's enough looking at the toys for a minute. Let's take a couple questions here. All right. So, yeah, it does look, Renee says it looks like a Google Home. Let's see. Carson asked, did you go to college? If so, what did you major in? I do have a bachelor's degree. I have a bachelor's degree in telecommunications and network management. That is my major. That is what I graduated with. And bachelor's of science. Yeah. So I did go to college, but all this stuff that you see did not come from college. College has, having a degree allows you to do certain things. Here's something else. So there's all kinds of stuff that I've accumulated over the years that you guys don't always get to see. But now that I've got the room, so before, when you would see me on the streams, I'm relegated to, a certain amount of space. Well, now this room that I've got for my office is like 15 by like 20, 25, and it's got a closet. So I'm going to have a lot more space where I can do a lot more things with the videos. So here's like a portable rack that I've got. Now, this one specifically, you would usually see like music amplifiers or music mixing equipment mounted in here, but that's all 19-inch gear. And I got a really good deal on this. I think that this was on clearance. When I got it, it was on sale. I think I paid like $27 for this with free shipping on Amazon when I caught it on sale. And I was like, you know what? For 27 bucks, you know, I could absolutely use this. So I can mount, I don't know how many U's. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 6 U's, right? So I can put 6 U's worth of equipment in here. It's got a handle on this side, and it's got these rubber feet. So I can load this thing up with a switch, oh, it's deep enough. I could put the Edge Router Infinity in here. I can put some switches in, and then just pick it up by the handle, put it in the back of the car, and go put on a training, you know, session somewhere. So, and that was kind of the plan. Is I kind of wanted to take some of my training on the road, and you know, so I bought this because I can put this in the back of my car with equipment in it, enough equipment to teach a class. So if I had 5 or 6 people who wanted me to drive down on a weekend and put on a class, I can just do it with this. I also am going to do some videos on my ladders that I use. So everything that I buy as far as equipment, I make sure that it can fit in my car because I don't own a truck. For me right now, and it's not practical to own a truck. In the future, that may change, especially if Tesla comes out with a pickup truck. That may totally, you know, if that thing ever hits production, that may totally change what I'm doing for trucks. All right, let's go back to the questions. Hugo, yeah, so I had to buy this, but I also bought the audio bridge. I bought the camera, so I'm going to be doing a whole kind of training series or a whole bunch of videos on how to use Axis cameras in conjunction with the audio stuff and integrating it with the Axis cameras. So there's a lot of stuff. I actually took official Axis training, real Axis training at the Axis Experience Center. I still have to get that video published, but Axis is definitely at the top of the pecking order there. Lonnie says, why is Ubiquiti always out of stock on their products? Well, their products are very popular and they're very inexpensive. So, you know, it's hard for them to sometimes. I understand exactly what you mean. Carson says, would you recommend doing so to get into the field that you're in now? All right, Carson. So let me tell you this. I don't know where in the world you're at, but if you've seen Tim Bear or you've seen some of these other folks, there are very successful people in IT that do not have college degrees. Some of us have college degrees. IT is one of those fields where you don't necessarily have to have a college degree, but in my career path, I needed to have the degree, so I did finish the degree, and you know, it's I'm glad that I did it. It's enabled a lot of things for me. It's opened up world for me, but I also have certifications, and I have more hours in certifications than I do school. But then I have more hours of hands-on and mastering technology. So when you watch my channel, you'll notice that, you know, sometimes I stumble through things because sometimes we do things the first time together, but I try to, and like some of the videos, you know, you go back and look at my videos and you'll see, you know, people leaving comments and kind of snide comments about why do you do it this way? Why do you do it that way? And that's just the way it is. And that's, you know, the way that I learn. And, you know, a lot of things that we do in IT, there's no instruction manual for, so we're making it up as we go. So, but I always look forward to watching some of those people's videos when they start creating them. It does take a lot of time and a lot of energy to keep the YouTube channel going, but I do it for all of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Russell asks, is there a rough date for the Grandstream speaker release? So if you go out and you look at the beta program for the, if you go out and you look at the beta program for this Grandstream speaker, I have, from the time that I received it, I have about 1 month to get all of my feedback into Grandstream. So this week, this baby will be getting hooked up. If you try to call my office number, I don't even have my PBX back online yet. This weekend, I'm trying to get that done. I've got to call my ISP. Right now, this laptop is connecting wirelessly through an Amplify system, which is then I'm in a double NAT situation. So I'm happy that you guys are telling me that things are smooth, especially because I think my upload's only 3 megabits. So let's see. Rima says, after watching your channel, I bought some APs. Love the product so much. I bought UB&T stock, $20,000 profit in 1 year. Yeah, their stock is going up. Lorenzo, yeah, I absolutely thought, and I really do want to do that training. So that's why I bought this mobile rack. I've got 2 other racks you guys are going to get to see once they get fully populated. Let's see. Hey, James, glad you're here and you're working on client stuff. That's awesome. Chris Becker, I can't see your icon, but is that the Chris Becker who I'm friends with that owns Cooking Pellets? Just give me a yes or no. If it is the Chris Becker that I'm friends with. Yeah. So everybody say hi to Chris. If you have a pellet smoker, and you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I only run Cooking Pellets in my smoker. And they are fantastic. In fact, I just put a 9 pound pork butt on. So let's see. Yeah, no problem, Carson. You're a high school senior and then out of college. Hey, you know what? Carson, hit me up. Shoot me an email and, keep in touch. And if you need any pointers that I can give you, any life experience, I love mentoring people. I love teaching people. That's what part of the channel is. So I think if we're all better, we will really all be better off, So kind of a little bit of a mind share there, a little bit of a brain dump. But yeah, everybody go check out cookingpellets.com. Made in the United States, actually made up in Racine, Wisconsin. You can buy them by the ton, but let Chris know that Willie sent you. Hey Bob, yeah, I have bonded DSL. So if you've noticed, the backdrop is a little different and it's going to get better. So we are actually in the process of moving. So and no fiber where I'm at, but I also cannot throw a rock and hit my neighbor's house, which is fantastic. Yeah, so I'll be doing a lot of things to optimize my bandwidth, a lot of quality of service for the kiddos. All right, Weibo, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I should just say Mr. Westerhoff. With the Edge Router Infinity XG not being made any longer. Whoa, hold on, wait a minute. They're not making the Edge Router Infinity? I thought they just stopped making the USG XG. Oh, the Unify one. Yeah. I would if you have, so the Edge Router Infinity, I've got one around here. You've seen it. Is an awesome piece of hardware if you know what you're getting into. If you know, kind of some of the, I need to do a full review on it because there are some things that Bob Carpenter, what's on the pork butt? Hold on, let me get back to this this other thought. You got me thinking about food. But there are a few like little buggy, they're not buggy things. It's just the way that the product is built, right? So like, I think we talked about this before, but when you're configuring ports 1 through 4, if you're going to set the duplex and the speed, it sets them for ports 1 through 4. You can't set them individually. And some people, that doesn't work for them. So we'll get into that. All right. Lonnie says, is there a way to use a nano switch 24 volt active PoE? No. Nope. Those G4 Pros, first of all, what'd you pay for that? What was the price on that? I haven't bought any of the G4 cameras because I'm not deploying new Ubiquiti cameras. Everything new is going to be Dawa or Axis, and likely it's going to be Axis just because we're starting to do a lot of life safety things. All right. Rima says, if I use a VLAN and use an unmanaged switch, does that require additional configurations? So if you're using an unmanaged switch, it depends on what kind of gear you've got. But sometimes if a trunk port is not actually set up with 802.1 Q, equipment will drop those other VLANs and it'll only pass the native VLAN. It just depends on what kind of equipment you've got. So it may or may not work. Now I have seen it work from an edge router, having an edge router. Actually, it's worked with a USG. So I've had an edge router and a USG go to like a Netgear unmanaged switch and then plug an access point in and be able to pass all of those VLANs. But I've also then seen some other equipment where it just, the other VLANs were getting discarded. Bob Carpenter, what's on the pork butt? All of my stuff, all my spices and everything were packed, so I had to pick up some grilling mates. I don't even know what it was. It was something that it was as close to heifer dust as I could get, Bob. So we'll see how it turns out. Let's see. Carson says, are there any WISP options in your area? That's what fixed my family's. No, but I may have an opportunity to do that. So we're just going to have to see how that rolls out. And it's not like, I mean, I got the gear to do it, right? So between Lego Wave, Cambium Networks, and Ubiquiti, I have all of the gear that I need. All I need to do is put up a tower, get fiber in here, which if I understand it correctly, I think I'm a mile from fiber either side. I think one side's Verizon fiber, one side's AT&T, but it's not your IP and your data that are expensive. It's the transit, right? So if I could hook into AT&T and they would sell me bandwidth at a reasonable price, I could do it that way. If I wanted to do something like buy bandwidth from like Hurricane Electric, that's a whole other story because I can get it cheap, right? Like you can catch it on sale for like 30 or 35 cents a megabit. But then the problem is the transport getting to Chicago, right? That's what makes my price go up. All right, let's see. Oxford Electronics says, what are your thoughts on the Unify Switch L2 PoE as it is in beta? Oxford Electronics, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the new one? Or are you talking about the old L2 that came out of beta that has the hot swappable power supplies? His Love Army asked, best antenna for short point-to-point, nano beam versus light beam. You could just go with like an AC Loco, the little $49. I've got those around there. I actually, that's actually what I'm going to use. We're going to do a video on that here, and that's what I'm just going to use is my little Locos. Those should work fine. They're like $49 a piece. So that should take you all the way, His Love Army. Steve Yu says, what's the best way to isolate IoT devices on their own LAN but still be able to access them when needed from your main LAN without a lot of custom configuration? Well, so you could set it up. You could set up your firewall rules like a DMZ, right? So in an actual DMZ, what is happening is you've got the machines in this network. and they cannot initiate outbound connections. This is our firewall, okay, right here. This is our interface. I got my web server over here. This web server cannot initiate an outbound connection by itself. But if a client comes into the firewall and then requests the web server can respond, right? So that's how a traditional, like a real DMZ setup, not like a Linksys DMZ. And so what you could do is you could set up your rules on your IoT stuff so that they cannot initiate outbound connections, but that your other network could come in, initiate the connection, and then this machine is allowed to respond. So basically, you could set it up as a DMZ, and that should work. I've never set up IoT stuff that way. I use my IoT rules, and then I will usually have a management machine or whatever that's got a static IP that can reach back into that network. The unified 24 port PoE 250 watts. So if it's in the beta store and it's Ubiquiti, I cannot talk about it. It's got to be out in a general release, and then I can talk about it. Was that my dog? Yeah, the dog's barking. Somebody's here. Let's see. Hey, Portugal, glad you're with us. Wait a minute. Oxford Electronics. There's a new one with Hot Swap? I didn't know there was a new one with Hot Swap. But anyway, if it's on the beta store, I can't talk about it anyway. All right, Eric, what do you think of the UBNT switches in beta? Yeah, so just so you know, if it's in beta, for those of us who are we're consultants, but we also do these configuration and review videos. Ubiquiti doesn't want us to do those videos because when a product is in beta, it's in beta because they want to get it in the hands of as many people as possible before general release so that they can find bugs, they can find aesthetic problems, they can find, it has happened where you get a product in beta and they change the design, the case changes, the airflow changes, the XG server is a good, the final release is different than the beta. And so they ask us to not create videos on those products until they are general release. Let's see here. Need input, Johnny 5. Johnny 5 is alive. Do I research or worry about a camera's firmware for security or locking it down yourself? Good enough. So I will tell you that when I deploy an Axis camera, I do not worry about the firmware. We still don't put those in the same subnet. Anytime we do a deployment of cameras, it gets its own VLAN so that we can do security rules and things like that. But I will tell you that the Dahua cameras, I think Dahua makes a good camera. But here's the thing you got to watch out for. If you go out on Amazon, eBay, wherever, and you buy a Dahua camera, right? So it might be OEM or whatever. If it says Dahua on when you order the device and it shows up and it doesn't say Dahua on the box, and you plug it in and you log in and it doesn't have Dahua's logo in the firmware, you either have an OEM device that maybe was manufactured by Dahua but doesn't and could have some sketchy firmware, or you have some sort of a pirated type device, some sort of a knockoff type device. Those are the ones that worry me. But we still isolate those. So if you isolate them enough, and I have people who get a hold of me and we literally lock down their camera VLANs so they can't get out to the internet. But, you still have to, you still have to be careful. And I will tell you that I'm not happy with the Dahua cameras that aren't really Dahua, because it's hard to get the model number and to be able to go out and get firmware to update them. That whole thing's kind of sketch. So let's see, where have you come across the Firewalla hardware firewall? Is the Firewalla Sharanth, is it that little box? Let me know if that's what that is, because maybe I've seen it. Yeah, Bob Carpenter says the first rule of Beta Club is you don't talk about Beta Club. That is correct. All right. Yeah, so a lot of people are not going to be, probably rolling Unify Protect. So I would, you could look at Dahua. I would not do Hikvision at all, but you could look at Dahua. You could look at Axis. Those are the two that I would recommend. There are Amcrest is good. So and stay tuned, because here pretty soon I'm going to be giving away a Rio Link pan tilt zoom camera. They sent me two, one to do a review on and one to give away. I'm probably going to give them both away. It's my understanding. I haven't been keeping up with Protect, but I don't know. Can you do L3 adoption? Can you adopt across VLANs on Protect right now? I don't know that that's a thing. Let's see. Did you know about the Unify G3's IR filters getting mechanically stuck? No, I did not. But that's something else right there. Are you ready for Ubiquity to go layer 3? So Eric, Ubiquity has already gone layer 3. Not like a full-blown layer 3 like Cambium has, or like Extreme or Cisco, but the edge switches can do light layer 3 as it is, enough that we augment networks with it occasionally. Let's see here. Yeah, don't do Hikvision. Let's see. Yeah, I've seen those little firewalls, but no, I actually thought about reaching out to see if I could get one, but yeah, Hikvision. I don't know where you're at, Oxford Electronics, but Hikvision has been banned from federal United States federal installations, and it's trickling down from there. Do you think setting up inter VLAN routing on a layer 3 switch for a home network is overkill? No, I don't think it is. For some people, it may be overkill, but I don't think it's overkill. How are you going to learn things, right? Do a review on the Edge Power 24 volt. Maybe I will. Have you done a video on setting up Synology surveillance with cameras on a VLAN? Not yet, but stay tuned. That's coming. Synology was nice enough to send me eight camera licenses, and so we are going to. They sent me 2 4-packs, and so we are going to set. We're going to do a whole video on setting up cameras. Let's see here. You know what, Eric? You know what? If that's in beta, I can't talk about it. Anything with L3. So if it's in beta, I don't know. I haven't used it, but I can't comment on it, even if I had. Hey, Dennis, glad to see you're here, man. It's almost midnight for you, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with 7+ VLANs. Bob and I, we did a lot of configuration on his firewall. Yeah, I've heard that you can't, that Protect has a problem with the inter VLAN stuff. All right, Steve, All right, cool. So I hear this a lot. Let's address this about Axis, right? Excuse me. So Axis has okay, wait a minute. All right, so let's put this in perspective. How much? Let me hop over here. Let me see how much the new Ubiquiti G4 camera is. Let me just hop over here. So I'm over here on the Ubiquiti store. You can't see it because I don't have this set up to do it. I'm just on my laptop here. All right, so the G4 Pro camera, $449. Someone in the comments, please tell me right now exactly what do I get for $450 plus shipping and plus tax, depending on the state. I'm going to wait for the comments to open up here. I want you guys to tell me what I'm getting for $449. Nobody? Nobody? All right. So for 449 bucks, you are getting a really cool looking camera. Because of the blue ring, are you really going to buy the camera because of the blue ring? If you're going to buy that camera because of the blue ring, I'll take some of these cheap Dawas and I'll put blue rings around it with paint and sell it to you. But here's the thing about Axis. So let's put this in perspective. You buy an Axis, camera. You can pick up the phone. You can call Axis. You can actually talk to an Axis engineer. Not that I don't want you to talk to me, but you can call Axis and get support. You get firmware updates for a long, long time. In fact, there are cameras that are like 10 years old that they're still supporting and they just put them into life. With Axis, there are no license fees for the cameras unless you buy add-ons, but you get a 3-year hardware warranty. So not only do you get a 3-year hardware warranty, you get updates for many, many years. You get phone support, and it's a different class of product, right? So I'm probably, unless Ubiquiti sends me one of those, if any of my Ubiquiti handlers are happen to be watching this live stream, if you want to send me the G4 Pro, I will give you my honest opinion on it. Can it sway me back? Probably not, because the software is the downfall of the Protect system, the closed system. The only way that I can grab a Ubiquiti camera from a third-party NVR is with an an RTSP stream, and you lose all kinds of functionality when you can't talk to the camera natively. So Axis invented the IP camera. They're in a different league. Are you going to invest $449 in that camera on the off chance that Ubiquiti may decide in 2 months that they're not going to support it anymore? There's a lot of people that bought $2,500 USGs that are not real happy right now, and I've heard from a dozen of them after I put the video out. So let's see. So yeah, Johnny 5, if you buy those products, you get regular updates for those products, just like you do the Axis camera. And a lot of the add-ons that we're using, such as we're going to be using the loitering manager. We're going to be using the people counting and the motion detection. That's built in. You get that one for free. So a lot of those, no, I'm not really worried about those applications becoming an issue. We set those up properly so that they're on their own VLAN, and I'm not really worried about that. What is an Axis Communications camera station core device license? Eric, are you asking what is the price? But yeah, Brian T, I will tell you that I think for small to medium to small deployments, I think that Synology or Surveillance Station is a great product, and I'm using it. So Eric, that license might be for their NVR or the camera station. That might be for the NVR. But I also had an Axis reseller tell me that if you buy Axis cameras, you get the camera station license for free. I'm not sure if that's true. Don't take that for gospel. So maybe somebody here can be, can comment on that. Eric, you should check out the Axis website and take a look at all the different options. So an Axis camera is basically a Linux computer with a camera attached to it. You can do so many things with the Axis cameras, and they're meant to be modular and be able to build on, right? So people counting is not free. It's an app that you buy. I think when we bought it, it was about $365, $350 for the license. And then that camera, like, literally is a people counting station. That's what it does. And you can get regular people counting, and then you can get 3D people counting. And the 3D people counting has a higher confidence level than the regular people counting. So Shannon says, we use a lot of Axis cameras and you do get what you pay for. We have over 3,000 cameras installed and have only had 5 cameras failed, and Axis support is the best. I'm going to tell you, from the time I walked into that Axis Experience Center for training to the time I left, I was just amazed with the level of detail, the level of responsiveness that Axis has for their customers. It's unbelievable. Yeah, Axis is, you're going to spend a little bit more up front, but you are going to be happier long term. So I can't wait to show you some of the stuff with this once I get everything rearranged. I did some other filming. So we've got Cambium network access points. We're going to start doing videos on that. And then also the CN Maestro, which is the management software. We're going to get into that. Shannon says, pairing Axis with Milestone VMS and you have a winning solution. Yeah, we've been looking at other VMS. Like I said, for the medium to small install, I think the Synology is awesome, and you can really get in there and you can actually fine tune the permissions for the users. The one thing that somebody that I know they didn't like about it, which it doesn't bother me, is the system that they're using was super duper expensive, and they could do zoning and things like that. But so let me tell you, I have a restaurant group that I am working with, and Cambium is actually shipping them all of the equipment, and they've got like 600 stores across the United States. And I haven't done all 600 stores. I'm working with the guy who's in charge of setting up the networks and deploying the Wi-Fi and everything like that. Cambium is actually sending him enough APs and switches to do a single store. And so he's going to have one store that's all Cambium. So I will tell you that Cambium is good stuff, and you're going to see the videos. Now that I've got the room to be able to do some of these videos that I want to do, we're going to start cranking out some pretty good stuff. Let me show you something else. Okay. So another thing that I've got here is because I'm doing all of the Synology videos. Thanks, Shannon. I appreciate that. So because I do all of the Synology videos, all kinds of places reach out to me. They want me to look at their products. They want me to test them, because everything that I do videos on, I'm using in the real world. So it's not like I'm just doing this just to like sell products, because the only time that I make money on my YouTube channel is if you buy something through an Amazon affiliate link. I get a little bit of a little something for that. any of my affiliate links, or then if you use me for consulting services. Otherwise, these vendors are not paying me. And maybe that's not smart on my part. Maybe I should figure out how to do sponsored videos. But the thing is, I like really teaching you guys. And if I start getting into sponsored videos, I fear that you won't like. My fear is getting into a sponsored video is that I won't be able to give you like my real opinion or be able to show you things that I want to show you. But anyway, this company called TerraMaster reached out because they saw my Synology videos. Now, I'm still lock, stock, and two smoking barrels, a Synology guy. But they said, hey, we've got this network storage deal, and we would like to send it out to you because we want to see what you think about it. We'd like you to do a video on it. So they sent me. So TerraMaster sent me this little box. It got good reviews when I looked at it. And this is what it looks like. Now, it doesn't have like a Synology DSM. I guess it just runs like regular Linux. Look, I haven't even taken it out of the package. Look, all right, here we go. Oh, you heard it right there. You heard it pop. That was the plastic. All right, so here's the front of this guy. And just pop the... So, I mean, I'm going to give them, I'm going to give it a fair shake. I don't know that it will... I don't think it will replace Synology because Synology has changed a lot of things in the last few years. So one of the complaints that I used to hear about Synology was that the support wasn't good. Well, Synology now has awesome support, right? And if you buy, I don't know where all the stuff from my office is kind of in disarray, but Synology, like the 918, I think it has a 3-year warranty now, right? And depending on how you're using it, they'll do an advanced replacement for you. And they definitely do an advanced replacement on the rack stations. So so I thought it was funny that this does kind of look like a Cooler Master logo. And then it's got this big fan on the back. There's Ethernet and this. And they told me I get to keep this. But and they didn't send it. It's got no hard drives, so I got to put my own hard drives in it, which I'm not mad about. I'm not sad about that. But whenever somebody usually sends me something for review, they send me the complete product. So now if I put my hard drives in here, which I've got like a Western Digital green and I got a black, and they're both, I think 1 terabyte. So I'm going to put them in here, and it's probably going to slow down to the speed of the green drive, right? So which means it's going to be slow. But I don't know. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to give it a fair shake. It's got its own version of Linux. And like I said, we're going to give it a fair shake, and we're going to see what it's all about. But they didn't send any hard drives. And when they said they couldn't send hard drives, and they're like, if you don't have hard drives, just send it. We'll give you the next reviewer to send this on to. And I was like, well, I've got hard drives. And they're like, oh, we're glad you've got hard drives. You can keep the unit when you're done. So I don't know. I don't watch any other tech channels for this product. I'm sure like lawn.tv did one because he does all kinds of sponsored stuff. I mean, that's what he does for a living, is the YouTube thing, I think. So I mean, we're gonna give it a fair shake and see what happens. But Bob Carpenter, I'm still hoping for a sponsored barbecue and smoking channel. Well, my friend, my wife will be spinning up. So we've got a lot of footage. Getting the smoker going, getting the barbecue going, and stuff like that. But my wife has not had her monetization pulled from YouTube. I obviously have, but she is going to have a channel. She's going to have a cooking and a homesteading channel, and barbecue is going to be part of that. So once my wife gets up and running, I'll make sure you guys all get a link to that. So Johnny 5, we did run Blue Iris, but I'm not a huge fan of Blue Iris. So yeah, we run it. No, I'm not in my underpants. I do have a pair of shorts on. No, I have a QNAP in production, but I do not have any QNAP for the lab. QNAP has not reached out to me. I've got people that I know that have QNAP, and I got to tell you, I'm not impressed with QNAP. The people that I know that have QNAP are having nothing but constant problems with their QNAP. So we'll see. Yeah, Synology support is great. Anano Moose says bachelor's degree in business management or computer related field. I like both, but having trouble deciding. Personal question, but do you have any degrees? I do. I have a bachelor's of science in network and telecommunications management. So you're going to have to kind of decide, for yourself, but yeah. So Rue, hang on to that thought. That'll be coming back. Best place to buy Axis cameras, Lonnie. The best place is to go and see if they have a local partner. Try to support your local partners. And if they don't have a local partner, then order online, but make sure wherever you order from is an Axis partner. Make sure you're not getting any of that gray market stuff. But Rue, I'm curious about direct comparisons of the Unify APs to Cambium. Just hold that thought for a few minutes. My wife actually did come up with a name for the barbecue channel, so we'll see. Yeah, Blue Iris, in my opinion, and what's funny is my friend who didn't like the Synology surveillance station. It's not that he didn't like it, but it didn't have some of the features he wanted. He thought the Blue Iris was awesome, and I think Blue Iris is cumbersome, and we used it because we had to, and we still got one installation out there running, and I'm going to be getting rid of that as soon as I can. Oh, interesting. So Ressi says Cambium leaves Unify stuff for dead. We tried an AP in the warehouse and Cambium had full coverage. The AC Pro had many dropouts. And hey, say hi to my wife. My wife is watching. So everybody say hi to my wife and let her know you're looking forward to her barbecue homesteading channel that she's going to be starting. So yeah, the 410 is the smallest of the 410 is the smallest of the Cambium APs, and we'll see. Just everything that I've heard is that the Cambium stuff, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this. We'll have to see how it shakes out. Let's just put it that way. So here's the deal. So there is another vendor in this restaurant group, and the restaurant group, they're looking for easy management. They are looking for. I mean, they have 600 stores, right? So it's like you got 600 stores, and then they weren't. So they were on Unify Elite, and the Unify Elite pricing was not straightforward. And so, he had to go buy another, I don't know, it was very expensive. And so now we're going to move them off of Unify Elite, which I've been moving people off of Unify Elite, not because they don't like Ubiquiti, but they don't like the pricing when they can buy a DigitalOcean controller and we can get them set up. So Steve, let me ask you this. When you're talking about 4K cameras, right? If I'm looking at doing a job, what in your spec, what is requiring 4K? And don't tell me license plates, because 4K cameras, it doesn't matter if it's a 4K camera or not, it's not going to catch a license plate at night. And if you do, it's going to be by sheer luck, and you're probably not going to be able to reproduce it. So tell me why you need a 4K camera, and let's actually talk about the deployment see if we can walk this back and find a camera that actually fits your needs. So, but yeah, so there is, I will tell you, we are going to do direct, um, direct comparison between Ubiquiti and Cambium access points. So, yeah, so just because you have 4K doesn't mean you're going to get license plates. If you have a shoddy install, I don't know. It's going to be yeah, so a Vigilion, I think I pronounced that correctly. That is basically the main competitor in the high-end space to Axis. And I don't have any of their stuff, but I have looked at it. But Axis is where it's at for me. The Dawa, I will tell you, Bob, the Dawa cameras have excellent tracking. But all right, so I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. I just wanted to pop in and do this quick video, let you know that I was okay, because it's been a while and people have kind of been messaging me, and sometimes I miss those Tuesdays and Thursdays, but look for some videos coming hopefully next week. Probably going to do the review and the deployment of this guy, just because I need to get some QA done on this for Grandstream because they need that feedback. So we'll probably go ahead and get this guy hooked up. And I've got lots of Axis stuff coming up, but I want to thank you all for being here. And if you need to get a hold of me, go to williehowe.com, fill out that contact form. And as always, I will see you guys and gals in the next video.